Today I'm going to give you my preview, my predictions on the 2021 Canadian Championship Tournament. It's back, baby, this year, and it's going to be better than ever, as we're going to have all 8 CPL clubs in it this year. The champion from the 2019 League 1 Ontario season and the champion from the 2019 PLSQ season, as well as, of course, the 3 MLS clubs will all be in this year's tournament there. So quite a few matches, quite a few teams in this. It's all going to be a single elimination knockout tournament there. No home and home legs, just single elimination games there. Each teams, or the teams in the entire bracket here, I'm going to show you in a sec, has been broken down based on geography. So, you know, you got the teams that they're trying to do this to kind of keep it safe with COVID, but also travel-wise to not have to spend that much money to get PFC to travel to Halifax just for the preliminary round of the tournament there. So it sets up for a pretty interesting bracket here. The first matchup here we have is going to be Pacific FC versus the Vancouver Whitecaps over on the West Coast there. Exciting matchup for me. I think the Whitecaps, though, have not had a very good season this year. Yet again, they're just having a bad season. Meanwhile, Pacific FC, they're just cruising right now. They have a great, cool, sexy offense, if you want to call it that. Of course, they got Marco Bustos, one of the best players in the Canadian Premier League, hands down. And a great offense, like I said, altogether. Diaz, Campbell, Bassett's played fantastic. Blasco, they got a great midfield. For me, winning this matchup here, moving on to the next round, the quarterfinals, will have to be Pacific FC taking one over the Vancouver Whitecaps. The next matchup here will be the El Clasico matchup, FC Edmonton versus Cavalry FC, and this one's going to be pretty entertaining, I think, just for the simple fact that I think FC Edmonton's way better this season than the past 2 seasons. They're going to keep it close to Cavalry FC, but I don't know. Cavalry, even though they are kind of a mystery this season, just historically, I have to go on what's happened recently in the last 2 seasons, obviously, against FC Edmonton, and just how good they are in the Canadian Championship from 2 years ago. You know, half those players are still here, but they're still a very good team in knockout stages. For me, I feel confident to say that it's going to be close, but Cavalry FC will just edge out FC Edmonton and move on to play PFC in the quarterfinals. So playing Toronto FC, who of course got the bye to the quarterfinals, will be the winner of the matchup of Masters Football Academy versus York United there. And this one, for me, sorry to the League 1 champions, but you guys haven't really played much in the last 2 years. York United, they have this season quite a few times, and I think they're going to have some kind of rapport with each other. They're going to have some chemistry they've built, and they've been pretty exciting and entertaining so far in the 2021 CPL season. They look like a team that could surprise, and I think they're going to win this matchup here against Masters Football and move on to play Toronto FC in the quarterfinals. Next up here, the next preliminary matchup here will be Atletico Ottawa versus Valor FC. The winner of this matchup will move on to play Forge in the quarterfinal matchup. For this one, to me, I think Valor FC, even though they lost Jean Baptiste for the season, they're still a very good team, especially in the back line. And they do have some guys on there that can pop in a goal or 2 here and there. And of course, Austin Ritchie, who I think when he is on, and he can score goals, but some of the best of them in the CPL this season at least. He's had some really good form and good run of form, good midfield there for Valor FC as well. Atletico Ottawa, they just haven't gotten things done too well. I think their back four has been fine at times. I think it could be better, though. I think Drew Becky, for me, hasn't actually been pretty good for that team, though. Everyone else is defensively kind of messy. Dylan Powley, though, has really saved the team a lot this season. And then their offense, flip a coin, and then after that's how you determine if they're going to score goals that game or not. For me, at least, as of recording this video, I'm going to give the edge right now to Valor FC, who just have been in better form this season. So for me, Valor FC go on to play Forge in the quarterfinals. The final matchup here in the preliminary stage will be the HFX Wanderers versus AS Blainville. Winner of this matchup go on to play CF Montreal in the quarterfinal, the defending champs there. And I believe, you know, Blainville, they have a good system. They've developed a lot of good players, a lot of good players that have gone on from Blainville right to the CPL and have had success. But unfortunately for them, though, they're running into a Halifax team that still has CPL quality players, and just like against York United and Masters Football, no disrespect for the PLSQ or League 1, I think they can push CPL clubs, but overall there's just better quality, better depth on these CPL clubs. I do think HFX Wanderers will move on against AS Blainville to go on to play the CF Montreal club in the quarterfinals. So my first quarterfinal matchup here is going to be out west, Cavalry FC versus Pacific FC, and this one's going to be a really exciting one, really fun matchup. I think the winner of this can really make a good run at it and go to the finals. And for me, I'm going to have to pick, though, Pacific FC. I think the team's young, they're offensively gifted, they got good defenders, good back four. Cavalry, they have a good back end, good back four, but offensively it's just weird sometimes with them. And this entire season, they've kind of been a mystery team where sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And and in this case, I feel like they're kind of risky at this point, especially against a really good high-flying team like Pacific. They can give those defenders a lot of trouble. So because of that, I think Pacific FC get the win in this one and make it through to the semifinals. Our next matchup here, our second quarterfinal matchup, will be York United versus Toronto FC, and what could be like the Toronto Derby for the new Canadian clubs here. Going to be an exciting one no matter what. You got a young team in York United there who's coming up this season. They've looked really exciting this year, but they've had games where they've been kind of like stinkers. Let's be honest here, York United fans. Come on, you guys aren't perfect, and that's why you're not top 4 yet. But there's good quality there. You're going up against a team in Toronto FC who've had a rough go at things, a rough start to the season. They fired Chris Armas before even the halfway point of the season this year. Really rough start, but you guys are starting to pick things up again. They're going to play against a really good York United team, really good young York United team, but I don't have high expectations for York United in this matchup here. I do think Toronto FC, they have the experience, they have the quality as well on paper to put forth a good attack, a good defense, good midfield battle. At the end of the day, I think Toronto FC is just going to overwhelm York United. Toronto FC get the win in this one to go on to play PFC in the semifinals. Next up here, we got Forge FC versus Valor FC in my third quarterfinal prediction matchup here. For this one, I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's going to be Valor FC getting the win. Why? Because you just seem to have the number of Forge FC. In the 2 games they've played this season so far, Forge FC, they played really well in the first 2 phases of the match, but then when they get to that third and final part of the match there, which is the attacking part, they get in the box, they just can't score. They can't get a good opportunity. And Saros has been fantastic this season against Forge FC. So I just think Valor has the number, the magic recipe somehow to beat this Forge FC team. Plus, by the time this matchup rolls together in September of 2021, Forge FC is just going to be probably pretty tired from playing CONCACAF League, and on top of that, a bunch of CPL games all clustered into the schedule by that point in the time. So I think Forge FC is just going to be tired, going to be gassed. They're going to might have to sacrifice one competition. This could be that competition if they're still in the CONCACAF League, of course. Because of that, I think Valor FC get the win. My final quarterfinal prediction matchup will be CF Montreal versus HFX Wanderers. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a good one, but I think at the end of the day, HFX is just going through a weird thing this season. Their offense isn't really clicking. Akeem Garcia, as of the recording this video, isn't really clicking and kicking in those goals. But at the end of the day, I think the better team is CF Montreal. Right now, they're the best MLS team or best Division 1 club, let's say, in all of Canadian soccer right now. So I do feel CF Montreal, the defending 2019 Canadian champions, are going to be the ones that win this matchup and go on to play in these semifinals. Now here we guys go, Final 4, the first semifinal matchup here. It's going to be Pacific FC, Toronto FC. Going to be a fun matchup, but at the end of the day, I am going to tip my cap and say this one moving forward to go to the finals will be Toronto FC. I do predict they'll continue to get better as the season goes along here. Pacific FC might just get overwhelmed by the quality TFC have. Yes, I know they haven't been fantastic at the start of the season. They have gotten better. On paper, technically, they do have a little bit better quality players than Pacific FC. So with that being said, and of course experience with them as well, so for that I'm going to just tip my cap and give a slight edge there to Toronto FC. I like the dream. I want to say PFC is going to win this one, but I just don't feel like they will. Unfortunately, Toronto FC get the win and move on to the finals. My final semifinal matchup here will be Valor FC versus CF Montreal. I think this one's going to be a tight one too. I think Valor FC's got some good potential here to upset Montreal, just like PFC does Toronto FC, but at the end of the day, the CF Montreal team here just got that experience, got the regular playing time against a little bit better quality of teams than maybe Valor does, and because that's going to help them, and because of that, it's going to help them, I should say, and then we get that push forward through here, beat Valor FC and go on to play Toronto FC in the Canadian Championship final. All right, here we go, guys, go. It's the finals. Time to predict the 2021 Canadian Championship finals. CF Montreal, Toronto FC. Who's going to win the big 401 derby matchup here? And I'm just going to throw it out there. I think it's going to be CF Montreal that retain the title and get the win over Toronto FC. Toronto FC have been getting better as the season goes along. Montreal has been consistent, let's say, throughout the season. And I think this one's going to be a tight one, just like the 2019 final was. It's going to get down to the final whistle, I do believe. But I do feel CF Montreal will just get the edge over Toronto FC and get that win. your 2021 champions, CF Montreal. All right, guys, let me know how you predict this year's tournament to go. Who's going to be the champion this year? How far do you think the Canadian Premier League clubs will go? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, definitely hit that thumbs up, that like button. If you want to see more content just like this, hit that red subscribe button and bell notification button so you get notified each and every week when I drop a brand new episode just like this one. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.